and chairpersons of committees who are present, members of the mayoral committee present here. I've seen members of the mayoral committee, Councillor Pema. We have also member of the mayoral committee responsible for finance, Councillor Tsepo Nkwe. I'm hoping that the city manager have joined, otherwise they will join us, and the entire administrative leadership of the team. The chief financial officer is already here. And let me also greet members of the civil society, South African National Civic Organization, SANCO, who are here, esteemed members of the media, residents and stakeholders following this address via our social media platform. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good day. It has been a hectic day today, starting with the mayoral committee meeting. But we have requested your presence here today to address recent defamatory claims circulating on digital platforms. It is both necessary and urgent to clarify the facts and expose the political motives behind a series of orchestrated attacks aimed at undermining the integrity of the municipality and its leadership. The people of Polokwane deserve the truth, not sensationalized fiction designed to destabilize a government that is focused on service delivery, clean governance, and inclusive development. Before addressing the purpose of this media briefing, it is important to note that earlier today I had just emerged from a meeting of the mayoral committee where we received a quarterly report from the Audit and Performance Audit Committee, a clear indication that Polokwane is not in decline but on the rise. The report confirms that the municipality is upholding sound governance practice by maintaining a functional, independent, and legally compliant audit and performance audit committee, established in terms of Section 166 of the Municipal Finance Management Act. This structure ensures ongoing oversight over financial and performance matters. Importantly, the APEC fulfilled all its responsibility as outlined in its approved charter and within the legislative framework. This is not a committee that exists merely on paper. It has actively executed its mandate, signaling a positive culture of institutional accountability. Hence, since we came into office, we have seen Polokwane moving from many years of qualified audit opinion to, for the first time, unqualified audit opinions that have been sustained for the past 3 years. The committee held its scheduled meeting during the reporting quarter and consistently met quorum with strong participation from both members and senior management, municipal management. This high level of engagement demonstrates the seriousness of which the municipality treats oversight function. When attendants include chairperson, MPEC chair, and senior executives, it instills public confidence in the integrity of internal controls and financial monitoring systems. They are the hallmark, as I've alluded to, of clean and our continuous improvement in terms of the audit outcomes from the Auditor General. They are also a hallmark of lowering the risk of financial mismanagement and improve public trust in how the municipality handles resources. This APEC report reflects positively as well on the governance environment in Polokwane. It shows oversight structures are in place and fully functional, a culture of accountability in maturing. And like I've always quoted the former Auditor General, Mr. Magweti, when he said, impunity and accountability cannot coexist. I close quote. I've always been a believer that those who do wrong will have to be corrected and will have to be held accountable at all times. Legal frameworks in this municipality are respected and applied, and a visible effort exists to improve financial management and performance oversight. This positions the municipality for continuous improvement and stronger audit outcome in future cycles. No one can withstand the improvement Polokwane have seen. Of course, we will understand why all these fabricated news are coming now. Now back to the business of today. We have noted with concern and contempt and disappointment the continued circulation of unfounded, malicious and misleading allegations on anonymous online platforms such as MDM Media News, Media House. These claims attempt to falsely implicate the executive mayor as well as the city manager, Methuso Nemgumoni, in a purported 56 million rand tender irregularity. The municipality and myself reject these allegations as baseless, defamatory, and politically motivated. I've always been known to defeat those who contest me in many conferences. And for those who believe that they should have won the conference in question that we have just came out of, believe that after their loss, they should continue the fight. And I think it is a mistake they are making, because in a normal and organized country like South Africa, there are various avenues of bringing upon issues such as irregularities that are purported in the so-called media publicity that I have already mentioned. Once again, unverified platforms are being used as a tool for orchestrated smear campaign aimed at discrediting the leadership of the municipality. This attack often resurface around politically significant periods and are clearly part of a broader agenda by individuals and factions who have lost democratic influence. Rather than accept the outcome of transparent processes, they resort to digital disinformation in a disparate attempt to gain relevance. I have noted that some of these smear campaigns seek to attack not just myself as an individual, but also people seek to awaken my late mother in their attempt to gain tractions. The municipality currently does business with over 150 service providers. These are the list of service providers. You can look at the list. And service providers across diverse categories of work. It is therefore concerning and suspicious that only a selected few are being singled out. It is also important to note that many of the company listed in recent allegations are being awarded contracts through lawful competitive bidding prior to the appointment or the deployment of the current executive mayor and the city manager. Companies such as Capotex, Zebracraft, and others have ongoing relationship with this municipality as far as back in 2017 and then 2018 as well as 2020. And the impression is been given that they were only appointed recently. Well before the current leadership term assumed their respective role, these companies have been working at Polokwane Municipality. In fact, the same service providers are actively contracted by other municipalities. If you want to know those municipalities, we can show you their list as well. And the government departments, we can show you their list where these companies are working. Across the province and across the country. Yet, there is no outcry or accusation in those cases. Why is Polokwane being singled out? The answer lies not in procurement irregularities, of which there are none, but is in an intensifying campaign of targeting misinformation driven by political resentment and opportunism. The municipality also wishes to address public confusion regarding the involvement of foreign-owned companies in municipal procurement. In terms of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Section 217, and supported by the Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act, number 5 of 2000, all procurement by an organ of state must be fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective. The law does not prohibit foreign-owned companies from doing business with the municipalities, provided they meet all legal and compliance requirements, including tax compliance and the registration on the Central Supplier Database. Therefore, the participation of foreign nationals or companies in tenders is legally permissible, regulated, and in line with the South African's open and competitive economy. But the same companies are in the municipalities across the road, some of which have got offices across our roads. And some of the departments in questions, the provincial governments, are using the same companies, owned by the same people. Why targeting Polokwane? It must also be stressed that the procurement process is highly regulated, in line with the Municipal Finance Management Act, number 56 of 2003. All tenders are processed through a structured and transparent supply chain management system involving independent bid specification, evaluation, and adjudication committees. The executive mayor play no role in awarding of tenders, as explicitly stated in Section 117 of the Municipal Finance Management Act, which prohibit councillors from participating in supply chain processes. The city manager, as the accounting officer, provide oversight and ensure compliance, but does not personally award tenders outside of the adjudicated or adjudication process. On the issue of a reported 41 million payment linked to Link Thought Consulting for the Ivy Park Extension 36 development, the municipality confirmed that the transaction was guided by the Spatial Planning and Land Use Management Act, SPLUMA, the municipality's SPLUMA bylaw, and other town planning instruments. This framework allowed for negotiated infrastructure agreement with developers where installation contribute to broader service delivery priorities and align with approved spatial development frameworks. In this case, the developer installed qualifying bulk infrastructure that support the municipality's long-term infrastructure network and enable future residential growth. The reimbursement was informed by a formal land use application, council-approved development conditions, and a legally binding engineering service agreement. The municipality followed all applicable procedures as governed by the Municipal Finance Management Act and SCM regulations. Where deviation from standard process were necessary due to the unique nature of infrastructure projects, these are subject to Section 36 of the Supply Chain Management Regulation, which require full justification, internal control, and approval. All deviation, if applicable, are documented, audited, and submitted to council, structured in line with regulatory obligations. It is important to note that all developers are reimbursed for infrastructure. Not all developers are reimbursed for infrastructure contribution. Each application is considered on merit and evaluated in line with the municipal policies, special development priorities, and relevant legislation. The municipality has previously entered into similar infrastructure agreements where public benefit is demonstrated, especially for bulk infrastructure that extend beyond development footprint. This infrastructure is an infrastructure we use to generate our revenue. Unless demonstrated otherwise, that the municipality did not mitigate against any risk, the municipality remain in charge of its own infrastructure, and should there be any default on the part of any partner to the agreement, the municipality will still attach the necessary properties and ensure that the people of Polokwane do not suffer any loss. And therefore, the fabricated claims that 8 million rand was deposited into the account of the Makoro Foundation, we state categorically that this is a fabrication, and we'll call it by its own name. Since its own inception, the foundation's bank account has never reflected a balance of 8 million. These lies are deliberately manufactured to erode public trust in myself and institutions that have been created to assist the poorest of the poor. Most of these leaders that are spearheading this have got foundations that are not even registered, unregistered foundations that are fundraising money all over without any accountabilities. The allegations that the city manager irregularly awarded a 56 million tender to a so-called Zimbabwean boyfriend's company with the blessing of the executive mayor are not only false but defamatory, but also xenophobic and dangerous. They are also irresponsible. There is no such award and no such scandal. What we are witnessing is an attempt to inflame the public and manipulate sentiments through lies and prejudice and digital misinformation. On the same vein, on the issue of property ownership, the city managers' properties, I sometimes ask myself, I've got over 2,000 employees and they are building houses every day. They are building houses. How will I have had to find out, and the city manager do not have to come to the office every day and tell me what he's building, tomorrow he's going to buy a car. That's not what the mayor's responsibility is. We are paying the city manager 2.4 million rand per annum. It's the most amongst the highest paid employees of government. We are paying our directors 1.9 million per annum. It's legislated. So why will I have to go around looking, what are you building, what are you going to buy in the shops? Upon this, we have called for full and transparent disclosure on her part. She confirmed that the properties she's recently acquired were purchased using her legally earned income, including her performance bonus, savings, leave payout from her previous employer, which is Capricorn District Municipality, and proceed from the sale of her rental from the properties she owned. And even if she has provided documentary proof, it's not for her to always come forward to deal with her personal acquisitions and personal disposal of her own asset, unless there is a tangible proof that there is some wrongdoings, of which we are always at all times ready to investigate and come to the bottom of any issue of irregularity in terms of issues of corruption. The Executive Mayor continues to champion local employment and inclusive economic growth. He is at the forefront of the campaign that led to the scrapping of work experience requirements for all entry-level positions in the municipality, an initiative that seeks to open doors for young people, particularly graduate and first-time job seekers, many of whom have been locked out of opportunities due to unreasonable requirements for experience, as if there is an university that offers that experience. This practical intervention reflects a commitment to empowering our residents, not marginalizing them. Why not a report about how many graduates we have employed since the graduate employment program? It will not be out there and be known, because the focus is on the biggest threat to the throne, Makoro John Mpe, in the province. It is therefore ironic and disingenuous that such a leadership collective committed to transparency, inclusion, and progress is now the target of baseless political attack by anonymous voices with no accountability or legitimacy. We call on the public to reject this smear campaign and ask politicians to politic in the right forums. We know on the political front all the frustrations that we have gone through in this region. We don't have to say it in this and take advantage of this press address to the public and abuse the platform of the municipality. But we know that meetings are held day and night with one objective. How do we destroy Makoro John Mpe? It looks like he's a threat to the next provincial conference. We know. But we ask them to relax and focus on their work. We are focusing on our work of delivering quality services to our people. And those that are hired every day, the extortionists that are threatening business people to say, if you do not give me money, I'm going to say this and that and that. Those that are thriving through that, they must know we know them. And as the country intensifies war against extortionists, they themselves shall find themselves in trouble. They themselves shall find themselves in trouble. We know they've been sponsoring their lifestyles by extorting money from business people. And we call upon the media, the MDM Media House, and similar shadowing platform for lacking journalistic integrity, and emergence of some media houses that have got no even an address here in Polokwane, that are operating somewhere from the booths of cars, from whatever shadows, to come out and tell us who are the people who are paying them to write about Makoro every day. Some of young people who are unemployed are now on drugs, trying to please the masters who have hired cars for them and booked hotels for them with one aim of destroying one person, which is myself. Like I've already said, and I've always said, Polokwane is on the rise. It is not a statement that we just made. It is tangible results that you can see across the city. However, we're calling upon any individual or organization in the possession of credible evidence of frauds, corruption, or maladministration involving the leadership of the municipality. We urge them to bring such evidence forward to the relevant law enforcement agencies such as the Hawks Public Protector or the Special Investigating Unit. The municipality will fully cooperate with any lawful investigation, not investigation motivated by politics and politicians. That we cannot accept, however, is the ongoing use of faceless online platform to make unverified accusations without consequence or accountability. Real evidence must be handled through real institutions, and we remain open to such. If we must investigate claims even internally, we shall do so without fear or favor, but not whispered in the shadows of social media shall shake our commitment to serve the people of Polokwane. We remain steadfast in our commitment to service delivery, infrastructure development, youth empowerment, and ethical governance and leadership. This attack will not deter us as a municipality from fulfilling our constitutional mandate to serve you better and continue to build better roads, give you clean and potable water, and ensure that at the end of the day we grow the economy of our city to a level of our city realizing its own mission of becoming the first metropolitan municipality in Limpopo. I thank you, all members of the media, for the opportunity. This come to an end of the media statement.
Yeah, thank you very much, Executive Mayor. Now we will move and allow those who have questions and inputs to the media statement that was delivered here today by the Executive Mayor. I think I will start with this two front rows, then we'll go back. I see yourself, you just speak your name and the media house that you are representing. I see yourself here, you are the first one, the second one, the third one at the back. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Program Director. My name is Katakuni from SABC News. Executive Mayor, just a question to you. When you first began your address, you quoted the 2022-2023 unqualified audit report from the AG's office. While that audit report also indicated that it was unqualified, however, with findings, and that there was a single material irregularity which was detected by that particular office. Could you perhaps expatiate on what that particular material irregularity is? Because I've gone through the report, and time and again it indicates that while it was unqualified, There was, however, some findings that the Polokwane municipality allegedly never really adhered to, and they were not treasury norms. My second question, Executive Mayor, is regarding the hiring of foreign-owned companies. While you mentioned that there is legislation that allows you to do that, I just perhaps wanted to find out, did the municipality perhaps ever consider local companies, or you could not maybe find a suitable company before you could resort to the ones that are owned by foreign individuals? Did you also give local companies a fair opportunity, or were they simply not suitable and they did not meet the criteria? Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Tebuso Mechaka from Capricorn FM News. All protocol observed. Executive Mayor, I just want to find out, I think one of the allegations that was made in the allegations that have been making the rounds on social media is that you have personal relationships with some of these company owners. Can you just clarify that for us? Do you have any personal relationship with any of these companies that were contracted by the municipality? And my second question would be, taking into consideration that these are defamatory allegations, as you say, would you or the MM be pursuing any legal action against those faceless individuals who are making these allegations, seeing that they are quite...
who are foreign nationals? How many of them are foreign nationals, and how many of them are actually companies from Polokwane? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, the Executive Mayor.
Yes, I think, Katheo, thanks for highlighting that fact. Is a fact on the audit outcome that our unqualified audit opinions came with funding. It was not a clean audit, but however an improvement from qualified and other bad audit outcomes that Polokwane has been receiving over the years. The reason for that one findings or material irregularity has been the buses that were procured and paid for previously, even before I came to the municipality, without those buses being delivered. And we did say that we will institute an investigation. The AG is aware of the investigation we have instituted. It's an independent investigation on the matter. And upon the outcome of the investigation, we had to pursue the company legally to recover our money. And the company was declared insolvent. And we then had to pursue how best we can recover, even from those directors that own the company that were supplying or supplied buses to us. The matter is still a subject of court. We have opened a case. The accounting officer opened a case, and we will have to we continuously following up on the case itself, so that at the end of the day, some people, whether working for the municipality or those from that particular company, can be held to be accountable and bring back the money of those buses that have not been delivered. We have not, it's a matter that we have not been hiding, isn't it, colleagues? We never hidden the fact that we've got a problem. You see, the problem in Polokwane is that you are dealing with an institution that has been ailing for some time, where people earn overtime without working for hours, for example. When you try to rectify that, you are also becoming a victim or becoming some sort of where people will also come after you. Remember, some of the decisions that we have to take in this municipality are not popular decisions. We had to cut on overtime. That was way over 140 million to at least below 100 million now But you see, those people are still complaining on your street. Some of you, maybe are your relative, are complaining. Our salaries have been cut by that man called Makoro with these things of his overtime. Can you imagine? Even a person claiming overtime for a day he was on leave. That is part of the investigation that we had to be instituted. But also we had a fleet contract here in Polokwane. And some of the people who were beneficiaries, they know themselves, and I think they are watching this, of that fleet contract. What they were doing, the municipality, instead of going through its own bank to even procure cars, like one of these cars that you used to put petrol, they appoint a company to print its own card for the municipality in order for them to pay that municipality about 1.5 million a month for admin fee. We have closed that chapter. We have said the municipality must get its own fleet cards directly from its own bank. You understand? How many people were benefiting from that money that Magoro have taken that money out of their mouth that they were eating? It is unfortunate that the people who are spreading lies about corruption, they themselves were actually beneficiaries of corruption, and they want to continue. And wherever they are, they must know we will continue to clean up our system so that at the end of the day, we can achieve that clean audit and not even have material irregularities. Foreign-owned companies, even that transaction is a lie. Who was asking? Even that transaction of 360 whatever, that is a JV. That company is not one company, it's two companies that won, that were busy working. One owned by a South African and one owned by a foreign national on the basis of 50-50, if I'm not mistaken, of that particular JV. So why are they saying it's owned by both a South African and a foreign national? So if it is 360 million, it means half of that benefit goes to a South African and the other half to the other foreign national. But what we are questioning is that, can we be sitting here? How many foreigners now in South Africa have got a permanent residency? They've got almost all the rights. They are South Africans. They stay here. How many of them? And if they own companies, is there any law? If South Africans want to enact a new law prohibiting them from getting any job opportunities in South Africa, is within the citizens and the government at the national level to do so. Personal relationship with companies. Somebody must show me who is my relative. Because if you talk about people that I know, I've been the head of supply chain in Capricorn, and I've been the head of business in Capricorn when I was still an official there. I know a whole lot of business people. But that does not mean they are my friends or they are my relatives. If you've got a relationship that is defined in terms of the law, and you can prove that I've got that relationship with them, then it's something else. So there is no personal relationship with companies. By the way, AG also audit the relationships. They will list them. If the mayor has got some relationship with other people and they are doing business with the municipality, there will be a finding on that. And the mayor will then be in trouble. The issue of legal action, as you are aware that these people did not just start by making these fabrications. They've been in the social media for some time, some of whom have already started taking legal action. Some of them, they've lost a case recently because they use everything and even law enforcement agency to run after me. At some stage, I was told I own some pub called Amigos. I was told, I hear it, the mayor owns Amigos. I've got nothing to do with that establishment. Why can't they go to the files and see if ever there's anything from that pub coming to me or my family or anybody? Why can't the owners of such also make their statement to say, Makoro have got nothing to do with my establishment? Because I've got nothing to do with that. But it was fabricated. It was like the truth. Hey, Makoro owns some pub, so don't be surprised. I won't be surprised that in future they will say, I own Euphoria, I've got shares. For sure, they've started saying that, isn't it? And there are so many things, so many lies that are spread around. They look, there's Makoro Bricks around here. Somebody was asking, yeah, he also owns Makoro Bricks. Go to the owner of Makoro Bricks. Makoro is a big name, is a clan. That is why when you complete my surname, it's called Mpea Makoro. It's because Makoro is a very, very special name in my family. If we don't have a problem, we will actually discuss it. We were discussing it, but it will not be a lifestyle audit on the city manager. It will be a lifestyle audit on everyone working for the municipality. So when you talk about lifestyle audit, you cannot say, let's do a lifestyle audit for the mayor. No, then what? If you have to do that, we have discussed it in the mayoral committee to say perhaps maybe something that we might have to consider doing lifestyle audit in all our employees and all councillors. So it cannot be limited particularly to a particular individual. If we had to reach that stage where we believe that, and I think government generally is leading towards that point where we need to be doing continuous lifestyle audit on our own employees and those that are in the payroll of our institution. And I think it's the right thing to do. I've spoken also harshly on officials and councillors who live beyond their means. All of a sudden, an official rock in a G-Wagon. Obviously, there will be a concern, and the concern is genuine. Rock in a G-Wagon and you are a clerk or you are a manager. Where do you get, is there anybody working for government that can afford a 4.8 million car? So surely this is something that we need to consider to look at how we can manage the risk in terms of what you call the lifestyle, audit. Look, we are transparent. The foreign national that they are talking about, I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, they were talking about 12 or 10 people, eight companies out of over 150 companies that are doing business with the municipality. It's like they are giving you an impression. It's like 50-50. Or maybe the foreigners are just doing, they are the only ones that are doing business. It's a lie. But it's a lie with a purpose. A purpose to discredit me and to discredit the city of Polokwane. That has been in the news for right reasons. We have been in the news for many good things that we are doing as a city. As you know, even the president came here and praised us for the cleanliness of the city. You have seen we are busy resurfacing our roads. We are fighting. We've got a war on potholes. We are fighting our potholes. We will recently, you can see that we are busy on Nelson Mandela Drive. We are taking out the old tar road. We are resurfacing the road. We have just changed that circle in Seshego. It's very nice when you enter Seshego. Beautiful. All of a sudden, we have sorted out the water problems in Seshego. All of a sudden, then there's a problem. Why can't we talk about the progress that we have made? No. It is not in the interest of those who are scared. Scared of what? They have shown a lot of vulnerability during conference here. They were all over and not knowing whether they are going south or north. Now they are thinking about the next conference. And they are thinking before that time, the image of John Mpe must be in tatters. He must not even think about it, even if the branches have got certain ideas. And for that, we are prepared to bring other people with him, if possible, to drag them into the mud. If people have got evidence about any wrongdoing, they know where to go. We are leading a public institution. It's not a personal institution, it's a public institution. And all of us want to see Polokwane growing. It cannot grow if a lot of money goes to individual instead of the money going to for quality services to our residents. And that is what we want to emphasize on. And we are saying, you are media people, you are very good in investigating. Those foreign companies, can you check them in the list of the appointed service providers of these other municipalities and government departments? If you don't find them, crucify Magoro if you don't find them. Magoro is only employee appointing companies belonging to foreigners. They've been working in those institutions for years. They are happy with that. Some people that are insulting me, check the lawyers they are using to insult me, the lawyers that they are using in courts. Even when they took the ANC to court recently for conferences, check the lawyers they are using vis-a-vis the lawyers that are on the payroll of these municipalities and departments. Then you'll find answers. Like I've said before, we are committed to see Polokwane growing, and we are continuously improving our internal processes. And for that, we might fight families who used to get exclusive employment. One thing you have noted in Polokwane is that families, the entire family, it must actually be employed there. So we must also deal with the issue of nepotism and many other ills that we found in institutions that are meant to be public, so that the public can have confidence. And the public generally have got confidence in this administration. Because if I was to check in my entire life, I've never seen people believing in in public participation of an institution. Where I go to Seshego for me, IDP and budget, some people are no longer even afraid to go to the people. They even consult probably over the radio. What are you saying there? They can't go down anymore because they are scared. But you go to Seshego, the place where apparently Magoro was supposed to be scared of going, but he will not be accepted. But that's the place where you get thousands filling up the Mwagora Matlodi, probably the biggest hall in Limpopo. Why, if they do not believe in us? Some people are even claiming that the ruling party might lose elections. But instead, we have seen the growth of the ruling party in terms of support. From 56% those years and up until now, where we are over 60.8% from the ruling party point of view. I've said these things because they go out there to scare people. There is a problem. We have expanded roads infrastructure, for example, to rural areas. We have introduced paving instead of regraveling. We have said regraveling, you spend millions, and when it rains again, the millions get washed away. We have started to do that paving even in rural areas. Which other municipalities are doing that? Let them show us what they are doing. I have said I'm making a commitment to the media. I will officially open a new program, a new project, completed project, each and every month, just to show off the strength in terms of delivering quality services to our residents. And we have just opened the program in terms of delivering houses, and also launching a program to build 404 houses around Seshego and the extension some weeks ago with the Minister of Women Settlement as well as the MEC for Coxstar. And this is not because there were elections in Seshego, it's because it's a program of the municipality. We shall do so every month up until local government elections. Every month. So if it is not service delivery, what is that? But we also know that there are people internally within the municipality that are disgruntled. When we came in, the AG findings that you are talking about that season also mentioned, Katlego, about the people who are internal within the municipality that are doing business with the municipality. When we check, even as far as supply chain, you've got wives of people who are working there and they are processing things of the service providers that are owned, companies that are owned by their husbands. So we had to take action. Now they are busy throwing papers around as we take these actions. We are aware that some of these things are operated from within the municipality itself, because if you check of the information that goes out, while selective, you can see that this information comes from internally within the organization. And we've said that we'll also institute an investigation into the way the information is flowing in the organization, and because companies can also sue us in terms of the Act if you just fly around with information belonging to individuals. It's not allowed. So we are definitely on course, but what preoccupies us is to deliver quality services to our residents and to grow the economy of Polokwane and build ethical, developmental, local government in Polokwane where residents are free. We accept we are not perfect. It doesn't make sense that you go and procure a fleet of the same kind, all the issues. And we want to really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate the media houses for always coming whenever we call. Katlego and your colleagues, we really don't take for granted Manuel, Koketso, and everyone that is here. We don't take for granted the work that you are doing. Because the only way to deal with misinformation is through information, providing quality information and as well as reliable information to our residents. We have been elected to serve them, and it is only fair that they know the truth. And today we're here to tell you the truth. And I've spoken to my team in the mayoral committee as well that we've got chartered accountant. Ne? Even if I've learned accounting, I'm not trying to do accounting at the municipality. So I'll leave accounting to accountants, engineering to engineers. And politics as well must be left to politicians in the organization. If we have to build a professional setup, everybody focus on what is employed to do and paid to do. The residents are paying a lot of money for people that we know have been to school, and let them do their work. And so far, there's been a lot of progress and a lot of improvement in Polokwane. I'm happy with that work. But we can do more to expand services to our people and to make sure that we create more jobs for our residents, and Polokwane becomes the destination of choice, even for those who are coming from other parts of the country, countries, they should always know that you have not been to Limpopo unless you have been to the City of Stars. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.